AskReddit by Predict what was ruined by rich people. Aspen, Colorado. Yeah, it used to be a small mountain town way back in the day. And X200B. Now all of Colorado is unaffordable. Everest. Hey man, our gods live up there and Sagarmatha is a holy site of pilgrimage for Buddhists. 8. I'm our climate and die. Housing flipping for sure, looking to potentially buy at the moment, and everything has been fitted with new grey kitchens and modern lighting etc, which isn't my style. I may be in the minority here, but means paying way more for a house and then having the job of ripping everything out. I hate when houses have that soulless hotel look. Why is pork shoulder and oxtail so expensive? It literally used to be the parts nobody wanted. You can thank the Food Network and Food Documentarian for that. Once people started learning how to cook them, they went nuts. Thrifting. Thrifting is cool when it's rich people donating and poor people buying. Cheap and simple dishes: ramen, tacos, sushi. Now everything's gotta be labeled premium only to taste the exact same, if not worse. I love that taco trucks charge somewhere between $1 and $20 for tacos. Government. Of the rich. By the rich. For the rich. Every single piece of water with accessible waterfronts. Housing used to be the only people buying houses were those that were intending to live in them. Now you have rich people looking into investing in real estate, and guess what? Rich houses are poor investments. So rich people are buying up all the affordable housing, driving up the price and creating scarcity. I cry every time I look at Zillow. Beaches, overdevelopment, they fuck it up every damn time. Rich people have ruined a lot of things in California, but one thing I love about the state is that you cannot own the beaches. Every beach is public access. No trashy fences blocking off sections of private beach access like in Florida. Burning Man. Yeah, this one is weird. This used to be exclusive to people that really did embrace the underworld and counterculture. Then one day, you couldn't if you didn't have money. My hometown. A lot of the long-time locals here are working class, and it used to have a bigger sense of community. In the recent decade, rich people have decided that it's a cute small town with pretty scenery to buy a second home to rent out to other rich people who want to visit. Many of the long-time residents here are struggling to find homes. Meanwhile, rich people who just discovered this small town can easily buy a home or rent an overpriced Airbnb. Literally disgusting here now. Are you from entire state of Maine? Everything really. Moffas have more money than common sense and jack up the prices for the rest of us. The idiom is more dollars than cents because it sounds like dollars and cents being compared with common sense. But yeah, determine that they do. Sailboats. Used to be you could on a working man's salary get a decent day sailing boat that you could go out with for the day with enough cabin space and amenities to live aboard for a long weekend, maybe a week. Like the MacGregor 26. But nobody makes mere sailboats anymore. They make yachts. Expensive, over-designed yachts. You can still pick up an old Catalina for $5,000 or less, but if you want something made in the last 20 years, it's crazy expensive. The problem is most boat owners never leave the dock. A boat is just another status symbol that you get to show off to your poorer friends. There are guys like myself that like cheap boats that you can wrench on and then sail the shit out of them, but they are few and far between. Most boats are simply floating patios where you serve domestic cheese and bad wine. Cheap foods, like chicharrones or taletano. I'm from Mexico. When I was a kid, taletano was something that were even gift in meat market. Now they sell you a damn bone in meat price or even higher. The same with chicharrone. that was really cheap to buy, but with rich people discovering how good it is, now is impossible. All places up the prices because rich people buy it at high rates, and don't know what the heck they are shopping anyway. Cheap cuts of meat in general. Pork belly and oxtail specifically. Growing up, oxtail used to be less than $2 a pound, now it's well over $10. It's hard to feel good about not using plastic straws when Ellen creates more carbon emissions in one day to go see the World Cup than I create in 1 year. Video games. They've found a way to sell unfinished games while also maximizing microtransactions in some. Some companies are better about this, but the big ones are all about the money with as little effort as possible. And somehow these games often end up being super popular. I miss the times when my friends and I played good games. Now most of my friends spend a lot of time on lip service grinfest garbage that's designed to take up as much of your time as possible. And if I want to game with them more than once a week, I have to join for these dumpster fire games. The housing market. The UK's economy. Or at this point the UK. Just, all of it. Send help politicians who don't hate their people. Please. By the time I reach 60 I bet they put the retirement age up to 70 cause it's not economically viable to keep it at a generous 65. Hockey. The equipment is now super expensive, and ice time fees are becoming exorbitant. This isn't even getting into levels of play. If you want to have a shot at the NHL, then your family better be able to fork over $20k $30k for AAA prep schools or the like, because Tier I junior teams and Major Junior, which are the leagues that the NHL scouts, only select from AAA leagues. It's still better than some things, like fucking cheerleading. They have an outfit and don't have to pay for ice, yet one kid's cheerleading is more expensive for the year than my other's hockey. Doesn't help that the stupid cheerleading moms coaches want to do every goddamn thing to spend money. Catered dinners, events with different outfits, even stupid priced shoes. It's what happens when someone who was popular in HS never lets go. The standard of living for everyone else. The internet. Gestures at everything. Show me one thing they haven't fucked up. Actually don't, they might be watching. Bourbon. It used to be the most expensive bourbon you could find was like $100. Now, with everyone collecting, the prices have skyrocketed. The secondary market is completely insane. I remember a couple of years ago you could walk in a Bevmo and just pick up a bottle of Blanton's, walk home, make your mint julep and it's all good. Nowadays, it's like Blanton's is some Shangri-La of bourbon. Fucking John Wick. Everything. The easy answer, everything. The harder answer, interclass solidarity and quality of life. They've worked so hard to separate the have-nots into their own little groups. We're too busy fighting each other instead of taking the fight, politically speaking, to the rich and the 1%. You have more in common with your fellow man than you ever will with a Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Life. Tiny houses or organic farming, free-range chickens or egg. Now everything is expensive because it's in trend. Van life. People have somehow fucking gentrified living out of your car. At this rate I assume in a few months YouTube will be full of vlogs where 20-year-old hipsters somehow spend $250,000 a year to be homeless. Thrift stores. The middle-class family's ability to live comfortably on a single wage. On this same note, they ruined the ability for the working class to band together by destroying education and proliferating misinformation or misleading lines of thought. So now instead of everyone at the bottom working together to fight the top, they fight each other with some BS like, why should the McDonald's worker get $15 an hour when I only make $16 an hour doing back-breaking construction like HMM? Have you considered that if the McDonald's workers make $15 per hour, that would give you leverage to increase your own wages? Because you could be like, give me a raise or I'll quit to make the same wage at an easier job.